So this is one of those weird moments where, you know, people are just getting out of it what I think they already believe. You know, a lot of people were like, okay, yeah, Pattinson's going to come over to the DCU. So they see these comments and they're like, yeah, he's confirming it. A bunch of other people think it's not happening. They see these comments and they're like, oh, he's definitely saying it's not going to happen. Let's watch this interview together, and then we'll make our own judgment here, right? And figure out what we think is going on.
Mr. Matt Reeves, a big night for a big show. Congratulations
thanks
on
so
everything.
much. Yeah, thank you. It's exciting.
This has got to be the best possible outcome. I mean, you swing big every time, but you never know if it's going to connect.
Yeah,
What's it been like to see?
It's been really exciting. I mean, we really felt like we were doing something special. Lauren did such an incredible job writing the show, and the writers are so great. And our cast is amazing. I mean, Colin is so special, and Kristen's amazing, and Deirdre and Renzi.
By the way, total side note here, we watched the movie Horrible Bosses last night, and I totally forgot that Colin Farrell is one of the horrible bosses, and he plays this like bald kid or dude with like a comb over. He's addicted to cocaine, and he's just like a total asshole that takes over for his father. Fascinating. And I told Elise, I was like, that's the guy that plays Penguin, and she couldn't believe it. Mind-blowing. So yeah, Colin's range, pretty incredible.
I mean, we have amazing people, and I have to say, we kind of felt like we were excited about the show, but to see that everybody else got as excited as they did, that means a lot.
It also felt like, I mean, from the outside looking in, people tune in as a curiosity at first.
Yeah.
Because they want to know what's up. But it built over the season.
It did. That was exciting. Yeah, because at the beginning you think, okay, so they're going to turn in to see the first one.
Right.
Oh, they're tuning in the second one and the third. That was really exciting to watch it build. It was really fun.
That's true. And although I give the show a little bit of crap because I don't think its numbers were actually that great, it is fair to point out that it did uptick in viewership, which is actually rare. That's different. Most of the time, you get a huge influx of people that watch the first episode, and then you have it fall off over time. Penguin built over time, which is impressive.
It was this, you know, it's one of those things too where the opportunity, it's the kind of thing you can really only do on HBO. I mean, HBO, to take a character like that and really do a deep dive the way that we were able to do is a really, really special thing, and I just think they were incredible the way they allowed us to do it.
So obviously, you know, the audience already has an appetite. We're greedy in a good way. We want more.
Yeah.
How many discussions, like, are there real discussions about a season 2 right now?
Yeah. Lauren and Dylan and Colin and I are talking about doing another season, and it's all about, obviously we're doing the Batman 2, we want to get the timing right on that, but our plan is and our hope is absolutely to do another season. We just have to come up with the idea that we think is the right idea, which is what we're working on.
Cool. Are you happy with, obviously the release date changed for Batman Part 2?
Yeah.
You want the script to be in a good place?
Of course.
So are you happy with the progress you're making and the release date you have now?
Yes, absolutely. No, things are, I mean, this year we're going to be shooting, and I'm very excited about it, and there's been a lot of stuff going on, and it's taken longer than I would have wanted, but also I'm super excited about what we're doing, so I really can't wait to share that with everybody. So
how tough has it been to figure out your main villain? There have been a lot of rumors lately. I've even heard Freeze as a potential villain.
I can't answer anything that you're going to
But by now you've determined who the bad guy is.
Yes, of course, or we'd really be in trouble.
Is it going to be surprising to the audience?
I hope so. Yeah, I think so. I think that the story is a continuation in a certain way and completely different in another, and is going to show different sides of Rob. I mean, I think it's going to be really exciting.
Very important to catch up, because we did sort of talk about this yesterday. He reiterated something that he talked about yesterday, which was this whole idea of a continuation, and in some ways it's similar, and in some ways it's very different. He also added to that here, where he said you'll get to see a new side of Robert Pattinson. That's kind of fascinating. Are we going to get a time jump? You know, I sort of explored the idea yesterday of going past the street level Batman, getting a little bit more to the Justice League Batman, the Bat God, that kind of stuff. Is that what he's talking about? And again, is that being talked about behind the scenes because of the integration of this Batman into the world that Gunn's Superman exists in, right? So, another question is coming here about Batman 2. This is the key point. It's coming up.
Really cool.
Do you pay attention to the rumors out there? Because there are new rumors every single day.
I mean, you just kind of look at them casually and go like, oh, is that what they think now? Oh, interesting. Okay, but it's, you just got to put your head down and do what you do and try and do it as best you can.
And thoughts on other spin-off series at this point for Zoe, for other characters?
I mean, look, I would love to do more, but I think right now the thing that we're really focused on, obviously we're talking about doing the second season of the Penguin, but my big priority is to get the Batman to shooting and going,
Yeah.
and then it'd be exciting to see where we'll go from there.
And last thing for you, I spoke to James Gunn recently, and I
Yeah.
asked him, obviously he talked about, letting you do your Reeves verse on his own. And I did ask him, have you contemplated recently integrating Rob into the DCU? And he said, they've talked about it, because you talk about everything.
Sure, yeah.
What's your attitude about that at this point?
I mean, it really comes down to whether or not it makes sense, and I think what's been great is there was really a kind of a story that I wanted to tell. We're calling the epic crime saga and all of that, which is the thrust of what we wanted to do, and it's been important to me to be able to play that out.
Yeah.
And James and Peter have been really, really great about that, and they're letting us do that. And what the future brings, I can't really tell you. I have no idea right now, except that my head is down now about getting the Batman Part 2 shooting and to make it something really, really special, which of course is the most important thing.
And if they decide, we really want Rob to be our DCU Batman?
I don't know. Well, we'll have to see where that goes.
Fair enough. I won't put you on the spot anymore.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Enjoy this night. Congratulations
Thanks
on
so much.
everything.
Wow, what an interesting additional question there by Josh, too, because there are, of course, some rumors coming out from Jeff Snyder that Gunn might take Rob as Batman regardless of what Matt wants to do. You know what I mean? So wouldn't it be fascinating if there, he kind of speaks to letting the epic crime saga play out, and Peter and Gunn letting him do that, which is, again, very interesting language. It does kind of seem like he could be doing something, and then where the character goes after he does what he does is not something he's going to be a part of, B, really concerned about. Let's watch this again, right? We're all body language experts as internet detectives here. So let's watch this again, because, again, there's so many people are taking different things from this. It's hard for me to judge, but let's watch it again.
Rumors every single day.
I mean, look, I would love to do more, but I think right now the thing that we're really focused on, obviously we're talking about and going, and then it'd be exciting to see where we'll go from. My big priority is to get the Batman to shooting and going, and then it'd be exciting to see where we'll go from there.
And last thing for you, I spoke to James Gunn recently, and I
Yeah.
asked him, obviously he talked about, letting you do your Reeves verse on his own. And I did ask him, have you contemplated recently integrating Rob into the DCU? And he said, they've talked about it, because you talk about everything.
Sure, yeah.
What's your attitude about that at this point?
I mean, it really comes down to whether or not it makes sense, and I think what's been great is there was really a kind of a story that I wanted to tell. We're calling the epic crime saga and all of that, which is the thrust of what we wanted to do, and it's been important to me to be able to play that out.
Yeah.
And James and Peter have been really, really great about that, and they're letting us do that. And what the future brings, I can't really tell you. I have no idea right now, except that my head is down now about getting the Batman Part 2 shooting and to make it something really, really special, which of course is the most important thing.
And if they decide, we really want Rob to be our DCU Batman?
I don't know. Well, we'll have to see where that goes.
Fair enough. I won't.
I gotta be honest, man. I don't get nothing out of that. All these people that are like, he's definitely denying it, he doesn't want to do it. Where are you getting that? And then equally all the other people that are saying it's happening. I mean, I guess if I had to choose, I would say that does feel a little bit more of what's going on. If you read between the lines, in my opinion, Reeves is kind of saying, I have my head down on my thing, and it's important to me that that happens. And so that's what I'm doing. Now, as far as the future, if they want him, he's very vague about that sort of stuff. So I would almost say, especially given the context of the Jeff Snyder thing, and it's really interesting. I'm kind of wondering why Josh asked that additional aspect, right? If they really want him as Batman, what's gonna happen? Where did that question come from? Because that's not something he talked about with Gunn per se. That does seem to come from the Jeff Snyder rumor, right? Chat, do you see what I'm saying here? That seems kind of odd. So I guess my general takeaway is, if anything, this sort of hints that what they are doing with Batman Part 2 is just to build what Matt wants to do. And he's being allowed to do that. And then sort of everything outside of that, he's not really interested or focused on But then again, there are tons of rumors and leaks and comments by insiders that seem to suggest that's not true. So, for instance, the fact that Clayface will potentially be produced by Reeves, but is in the DCU, that's kind of interesting. There's been a long history of the leaks and rumors that Gunn does want Pattinson and essentially all of Reeves' stuff to connect to the DCU. You know, the fact that Brave and the Bold seems to be falling apart. Like, there's just a lot of stuff in the tea leaves. I don't know, man. What do you guys make of this whole situation? And what do you make of the comments here by Matt Reeves? Do you think it pushes it either way? What do you